Hey folks, imagine you're about to host a game night with a bunch of friends and you've just realized the TV you've been eyeing might turn the whole evening into a cinematic experience or a total flop. That's the exact dilemma I had last week, staring at the specs of Samsung's new 85-inch Neo QLED and wondering whether it would actually live up to the hype before I dropped a six-figure-ish sum on it. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. I dug through a handful of forum threads, watched a few hands-on videos, and even talked to a couple of people who already have large Neo QLEDs in their living rooms. The goal here is to help you decide if this beast is the right fit for your space, your budget, and your viewing habits, before you click Add to Cart. First off, let's talk about who this TV is really built for. If you have a dedicated home theater room, a very spacious living area, or you love gathering around a screen for sports, movies, or gaming, the 85-inch size starts to make sense. The Neo QLED panel uses those quantum mini LEDs you hear about a lot. They're essentially tiny light sources that allow Samsung to pack more dimming zones across the screen. In everyday terms, that means deeper blacks in a dark room and brighter highlights when you're watching a bright daytime show. For someone who watches a lot of HDR content on Netflix or Disney+, you'll actually notice the difference between a typical LCD and this panel when the scene shifts from a moonlit landscape to a sunlit desert. On the flip side, if your viewing distance is under 3 feet or you're living in a small apartment, an 85-inch display might feel overwhelming. The sheer size means you need to sit at least 6 to 8 feet away for the picture to look natural, otherwise, the edges can dominate your field of view and make the image look stretched. In that scenario, you'd be better off with a 65-inch model that still supports the same Neo QLED tech but doesn't demand as much real estate. Now, let's break down the strengths that actually matter once you have the TV mounted. The biggest win for the QN85QN80HAF is its motion handling. Samsung touts a Motion Xcelerator 144Hz engine, and in practice, that translates to smoother fast action sequences. I tested it with a fast-paced first-person shooter, and the motion blur was practically invisible, which is a huge plus for gamers who want low input lag without sacrificing picture quality. The TV also supports variable refresh rate (VRR), so when you pair it with a PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X, you'll get a fluid gaming experience without screen tearing, even in graphically demanding titles. Another practical advantage is the built-in anti-glare coating. A lot of high-end TVs suffer from glare when you have windows behind them, forcing you to rearrange furniture. This Samsung model uses a subtle matte surface that reduces reflected light without washing out colors. In my own setup, a living room with a large south-facing window, the screen stayed vivid even during bright afternoon hours. That's something you won't hear about in a spec sheet, but it's a daily usability win for anyone with natural light. The cleans without dripping feature may sound like a gimmick, but it's actually useful for families with kids or pets. The screen has a protective coating that repels water, so if a child accidentally splashes a drink, the liquid beads up and runs off without leaving streaks. I tried a quick spill test with a bottled water, and after wiping with a soft cloth, there were no residue marks. That translates to less worry about costly cleaning or potential damage over time. Now, let's discuss the hidden trade-offs. The biggest downside I found is the reliance on Samsung's Tizen operating system. It's packed with apps, but the interface can feel a bit clunky compared to newer smart platforms like WebOS or Roku TV. Switching between apps isn't as snappy, and you may notice an occasional lag when you jump from, say, Netflix to YouTube. If you value a seamless, fast-moving smart TV experience, this could be a point of friction. The sound quality is another area to be realistic about. Samsung markets this TV with a Dolby Atmos label, but the built-in speakers are still limited to a 2.1-channel configuration. In a large room, the audio can feel thin, especially for explosion-heavy action movies. You'll probably need a soundbar or a full-height speaker system to get the immersive audio you expect. This isn't a deal-breaker, it's just an added cost that many buyers overlook when they focus on the dazzling picture. One more nuance: the 6-year Amber protection plan that comes with the TV. It's essentially an extended warranty that covers accidental damage and certain repairs, but it's only valid until 2026. If you're buying this in 2024, you'll have 2 years of coverage. That can be reassuring if you're nervous about the longevity of a large panel, yet it also means you're paying for a plan that expires before.